fingernails.
Oh. Okay, today we're going to discuss something that doesn't happen much, but you're going to need to know how to do it. It's going to be a little messy and it's not going to be fun. We're going to assume that she had a large open wound and the stitches have become infected. This happens quite a bit more than you would think, especially here in the United States. You'd think with... So, first thing we have to do is we're going to have to deal with our actual saline solution is plain sea salt mixed in boiling water, and that's our actual rinsing solution. You're going to want it heavy enough that it's bitter to the taste. And close enough. And then we're going to need several suction devices and pressure devices. You're going to want to use hand methods. This is just a standard turkey baster. You take the end off of it and you'll see you have a tube. This is just a blood pressure cuff, the actual ball itself. You stick it right on the end and you have a one-way pressurized device. What this is used for is getting out the infections more than anything. You can also use a syringe. Just take the syringe all the way out, and if you have the ability to get a flatter surface, like in a larger area like a leg, then you'll use these. So first thing we're going to want to do is bathe the area with your sea salt solution, and any of those stitches that are infected we're going to want to suck out. So you put the area over there, make a nice tight seal, and suck. You're going to develop quite a bit of suction pressure, and any infection within those two cavities will be sucked out from one side of the stitch to the other. It's at that point if the suction, you can see there's quite a bit of suction there. It's at that point that you're going to want the second part of your phase. So you'll take a small syringe, fill it up with your sea salt, go back over the top of the infected stitch. You'll see this, it's real hard to see on the video, but as you suck this out, the other side of the stitch area will be open, so you'll be able to suck air through it. That's what we want. So most of the infection will come out, you'll clean that area up good, you'll just work from one infected area to another. So as you come to, you'll put the suction on the one side, you'll add just a little bit of pressure. The opposite side you'll put with a slight bit of pressure down into the hole caused by the stitch, and you'll apply pressure. What will happen is the saline will go through that open wound and come out the other side. Okay, this will eliminate your basic infections right from the get-go. You're going to want to clean those out really good, however many are infected. If you lack the time or the ability to actually add suction to the back side, make sure you wear glasses, and you could actually push it through with pressure on the other side. Make sure that each one of these individual stitch holes is open and not crusted over, and you'll put your sea salt water in your syringe, get a nice tight seal, and then press. On the other side, you will see salt water squirting out the top. Now this is real important because if you get infections, any kind of an infection, you could be in big trouble in a hurry. Sea salt is another good antibacterial and antiviral. Not a lot can survive in sea salt. You can also use this as a rinsing agent. It's going to be a squidgy painful as a rinsing agent for any kind of large open wounds. It's always good to have some extra syringes around, and of course a blood pressure cup you're going to have at any given time. If you get a thorn wound, that would be a singular puncture wound. It's a little bit more, it's a little harder to deal with. In those particular cases, if you had a large thorn wound here, or a puncture wound, you'd want to inject sea salt as best you can into the wound and draw pressure and leave it sit there for 10 to 15 seconds. And then you're going to want to clean it off, because there will, and you can use your sea salt solution, your saline solution, as an actual rinsing agent. Again, put additional sea salt into the wound. Get a seal and add suction to it. And that'll generally rinse it out. You'll have to do this multiple times to make sure that any kind of the infection comes out. You're going to want to watch these very carefully. With those people with large wounds that have been stitched together that become infected, you're going to want to watch them very carefully to make sure that their fever breaks within the next 6 hours. If it doesn't, there's more than likely an infection underneath the scar tissue itself. You'll be able to tell if it's red and inflamed. And that's basically how to deal. Any questions?
Yeah. When you mention sea salt, is there a particular sea that's better than the other sea, like Red Sea versus Black Sea or whatever? Or?
No, there's sea salt is sea salt. It's generally in such high concentration of salt that almost nothing can survive in it. So it's it's a really good sterile solution.
What else? Is there any substitutes to sea salt? Or like table salt, or?
Yeah, you can use table salt. Sea salt is, I prefer sea salt because it's easier to get into higher concentrations, but you can use regular table salt, any kind of saline salt. You're going to want to mix it to the point that it's bitter on the tongue in the liquid solution. And that's a real good sterilizing agent.
Where'd you get a hold of some of this equipment? Like turkey basters you can get pretty common, but syringes and what do you call them? Blood pressure pumps and things. How do you get a hold of stuff like that?
Blood pressure cuffs you can get at literally any medical supply store or nursing store. As far as syringes go, you can get them on the internet. You can get them. I generally like to use veterinary and supply stores, because you can get any size syringes and needles that you need. You generally don't need anything large, but I use the larger ones for irrigating and cleaning wounds and things of that nature. You can get a great deal of pressure and seemingly pressure wash larger wounds.
What else? Where'd you pick this up at? I mean, is it just common knowledge in certain circles, or?
Well, it's pretty much common knowledge in certain circles. It's not. These kinds of things are not used here in the United States because we have such a vast Western medicine. But they were developed over the years with people that had the necessity to actually clean these out and didn't have access to medical communities.
Alright, about 10 seconds left or so. Well, that's about it. Right on.
That's it.
I thought you used this end. You